a review for you this morning. This time it's Lalique's Encre Noire à l'extrême. It was released in 2015. The nose behind it is Natalie Lorson, and I would classify it as a woody. There's been plenty of talk about this fragrance and its lead up to release. This one for me starts out wet. It has a damp feel to it, but it has an undoubtedly woody vein running through it. That woodiness is peppery, and immediately you can tell it has a loose relationship with another somewhat popular fragrance out there, and that's Comme des Garçons Wonderwood. And that has a dry, peppery feel to it as well. So you're going to get a very similar feel right off the bat. However, this one has other woody elements to it in a dry patchouli that pairs well with the vetiver vein. And that vetiver vein is a combination of Java vetiver, which is smoky, dry, crunchy, and arid, and a salty Haitian vetiver that peaks out from time to time. So this one is actually mostly driven off that Java vetiver note. There's also little bits of sandalwood in here, and that's where you're going to get that loose relationship with Wonderwood. And there's flaky, earthy, dry patchouli. So this is a pretty interesting start compared to the original Encre Noire. You can definitely tell that there is a relationship between this flanker and the original. After a few hours of this interesting combination of all of these woody elements, it falls apart pretty quickly. So after about 2.5 to 3 hours, a lot of those elements are stripped away. And what you're left with is the ingredients that hold this fragrance together for that short period of time, and that is a cheap, dry, salty, woody combination of ambroxan and ISO-E Super. So you're going to get the salty, musky, dry, cedarish accord at the end. So overall, this fragrance is halfway decent to start, but it falls apart in really dramatic fashion. It's semi-interesting to start the fragrance, and it'll get a few points from me for that start, but its demise at the very end is really catastrophic. I personally think that dry down is dreadful. It starts out with that interesting combination of notes that kind of remind me of a Wonderwood type of fragrance, but it ends up smelling like Sauvage at the end. So if you're familiar with Sauvage and that ambroxan insistence, you're going to be pretty familiar with how this is going to dry down. For me, this fragrance, the only thing extreme about this fragrance is the hype surrounding it. I don't think this is going to be that bigger, stronger Encre Noire that everyone's looking for. It's more or less Encre Noire with some extra little bits and pieces thrown in at the start, and it ends up with that cheap filler dry down. This whole line, in my opinion, is a complete disappointment. I wouldn't even suggest paying the relatively small amount of money from discounters between $25 to $30 for the original and around $40 for this one. I haven't reviewed the Sport. I used to own it, and it's pretty much the original with some extra salty cologne aquatic notes thrown in, so it's not really worth my time to review it. That would also get a very low score. If I were to pick one out of the three, it'd be this one because it's somewhat interesting to start, but I just cannot stomach the massively disappointing dry down. I have other interesting fragrances to wear. I think if you are a fan of this one, another fragrance that's out there that you're going to end up paying quite a bit for, but is significantly higher quality, is Jovoy's private label. And that fragrance will display a somewhat similar feel to this, but with high quality ingredients from start to finish. The performance on this one is very good. It's pretty much a 12-hour fragrance for me with only a few sprays. I would really only go 2 sprays with this personally, just because I really can't stomach it, but performance is quite good. Let me know what you think about it. I'm personally not a fan. And thanks for watching.